Hi, friends. Yeah, it's been a while. Weather was fine when I got here, but it's raining a little bit now, but that's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing here, which is giving you my message for today. You know what to me seems to be the biggest issue that everyone is facing right now? The biggest hurdle, one of the biggest challenges is that these devices that we're all using now, way too much, way, way too much, right? Everyone is so busy doing these things, using these devices to look and search for answers. And then, so much so that they are really truly forgetting about themselves. What I came to realize as of late, after much pondering and even about myself, is that we are constantly doing this too, perhaps without realizing, right? We are looking at other people story, other people's lives. We are observing other people's stuff, not realizing or understanding that this won't bring us anything that will actually, I'm not going to say be valuable, because there's always valuable things that we can get from other people, right? Valuable insight, valuable advice, perhaps. But the biggest problem that I see is that we, instead of living our own lives, we're always seeing life through somebody else's lenses, to somebody else's perspective. And that's not the wisest way to truly experience life, because we all came here to experience all of it, right? But instead of doing it properly, which is deal with our own problems, deal with our own issues, figuring it all out on our own, we have this bad tendency and habit of looking it elsewhere, outwards, outside of ourselves, trying to find the perfect role model that might resonate with us more than others, perhaps. And we forget that there's no need for any of that. It's all within. It's all within. You have it all. Like Rumi used to say, the heart already knows. The heart already knows the way, so follow your heart. Let me ask you something truly and honestly here. And don't get this the wrong way. This is not to this is not to trigger you or anything of that nature. Although if that ends up happening, maybe it's time for some reflection. But how many people out here on this platform that maybe perhaps your favorite content creators that you like to watch, or whatever type of social media you're endlessly consuming for whatever reason, because most people are doing that. in some way, shape, or form to some degree or another. We're all doing that somehow. That we always end up forgetting about ourselves. And then we don't get to live our own story. We're living somebody else's story. We become a known player character on somebody else's book. I hope you realize and understand the depth of what I'm saying here. Because that's powerful. So how many of these people out here that perhaps you follow, you like to watch their stuff, how many of these people do you honestly think walk their talk? After they push down that stop recording button, how many of these people do you honestly think practice what they preach? If they're preaching anything, right? Practice what they are advising others to do. Honestly, ask yourself the question, truthfully and honestly. How many of these people do you think are just playing a persona here while that recording is still going? And then as soon as that is turned off, they're absolutely nothing like what you think they are. See, this is the issue. This is what I'm talking about. We have this bad tendency to idolize other people when we don't even know them. The only person you should idolize in your life is yourself, in a healthy manner, by understanding that you are what you seek. I'm going to say that again. You are what you seek. I love Rumi. I really do. I've said this before, long time ago, on one of my videos way back, over a year, like a year ago or so. Go read some of his stuff. He knew. He truly understood. And I'm sure he had to go through a lot of grief and pain and the whole process that everybody has to go through to finally understand and realize these things. We're constantly, endlessly consuming things that other people do, whatever they may be, allowing our energy to flow in that direction instead of turning that flow inwards and beginning to truly understand and realize that it's all within. I've said this a million times. It's all within. All of it. Yet, we turn to these platforms and devices and apps endlessly, consuming things that other people do, allowing other people to dictate how we live our lives, how we go through our decision-making process of our own lives, which direction we decide to go. Most people, although they think they lack what they need to face that unknown just go towards it without fear or doubt or anxiety, any of these things about themselves. Most people don't do that. Even though everyone is equipped to be able to do it and handle it. But what it is people don't want to face it. People just don't want to face it. We don't want to face ourselves. That is the problem. We run from ourselves sometimes the entirety of our lifespan. Why? Why do you think that is? What is there about yourself, about ourselves, that we're so afraid of facing it, dealing with, overcoming it, healing it perhaps, integrating with it? We're always victimizing ourselves without understanding that there's nothing to be a victim of, that nobody is a victim of anything. And that is just part of the human experience. We're all human. That is what it means to be human. Is to experience this wide array and range of different feelings, emotions, thinking, wondering, looking for answers, being curious about the whole process of how the universe works in life itself. I'm telling you, it's the brain rot is huge these days. It really is. It's sad to see. We do it to ourselves. More often than not, until we finally realize what we did to ourselves, what we kept doing to ourselves, what sometimes we still do to ourselves on a daily basis. The validation that perhaps you may be seeking outside of yourself is not going to come. It's never going to come. Because nobody else outside of you can give that to you, can provide that to you. Not in an everlasting permanent state of existence anyway. There are many ways that you can fool other people, that you can do things to make people feel a certain way for a certain amount of time. If you learn how to talk a certain way, and there are people that have mastered this, especially if their lives depend on it, if their income, if their sole, source of income relies on that, of course they're going to have to learn and master these things. Otherwise, they'd be out of business. They won't have money to pay their bills. Do you understand what I'm talking about here? So we're living in an age now where there's a lot of people out here doing this, pretending. That's all that there is. Pretending. You always have to be honest with yourself. That's the key. To begin to realize and understand that all these things that you're like looking outside of you from somebody else or something else to tell you whatever, however. Because the right answers, the real answers, the long lasting real change that you can make it happen in your own life, it's not going to come from outside of you. It's going to come from within. You have it. You were born with it. And once you leave this realm, it's still going to be there. That divinity, that spark of creation that we all carry within ourselves. That luminous being that we all are. After all is said and done, your soul, your eternity, that part of you that never ends and always is, and always will be, and it has always been since the dawn of creation itself. And yet, even though we're all that, and then some, we're trying to look for something outside of us to guide the way, to tell us how to live, who to be, what to do. I've said this many times, and I'll say it again. I'm not telling you what to do, how to live your life, any of that. I'm just reminding you that you already know the answer. All you have to do is to stop living in denial, to realize that. And stop looking for things outside of you and people outside of you to tell you how to live your life, what to do, where to go, how you should feel about this or about that. I don't know what else to say, really. So, I think I'm going to end it here. Be mindful of where you focus your energy on who you give your energy to. Be mindful of that, because it matters way more than you think. People are extremely gullible and easily manipulated in this day and age, more than they have ever been before. And that's a fact, undeniable. But those in denial obviously will deny it. It's human nature, right? Yeah. You know, a couple hundred years ago, people were so much more self-aware of certain things than they are today. It's like night and day. And then technology came along and it just trounced everything. And quickly, fast, in the blink of an eye, it managed to destroy and erode so many things about humanity that truly mattered and will always matter no matter what. regardless of the damage that has been done and the results of all of these things. But there will always be some of us out here that will not fall for this trickery, that will not be affected by these things. Because our light goes beyond that level of darkness. And that's really all I want to talk about today. Okay? So if you like the channel, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you all next time. Be safe. Take care. And start living your own life and your own story instead of somebody else's. Okay? Until next time, my friends.